Why are we doodle dipping so hard tonight, chat? I don't get it. We got doodle dips all over the place, and we have streamers. Hi streamers. Hi viewers. I remember a while back, people used to tell me, like people that didn't really know what I did, would be like, actually refer to the audience as streamers. Like one of my friends, my friend Paul, was like, you know, hey streamers out there in video land, like when he would guest on the stream with me. And I had to be like, that's not really what you say. I mean, some of them are. And then the next time he was over, he was just like, hey streamers. I was like, all right, whatever. That's fine. Anyway, welcome to the stream. And we're going to be doing some Astroneer. Gonna load up that save game. Hope everyone's doing well. This is going to be a chill stream tonight. After this, we're going to check out Good Night Night before I go to sleep. And, you know, good night you. I'm here with a couple of streamers, actually, weirdly enough. And, oh, guess what? I have them in voice chat today. So I have the Monotonist.
Good evening.
And I have Dave.
Hey guys, Dave here.
Wow.
Tuber voice.
Mental. Absolutely mental. Anyway, welcome to the stream again, everybody, and thank you, Mono and Dave, for joining me on this mission to see the planet core. Vinny, last night's stream must have helped with the whole isolation thing, huh? Yeah, I go through my moods weekly. I mean, I'm not a very I am an introverted person, but I'm not an antisocial person. It's just, sometimes I don't feel like talking to anyone else while I'm streaming. But I don't mind doing conventions. I can do a panel in front of a couple hundred people for a couple hours. That's no problem. I just, you know, sometimes I just want to chill. You know what I mean? Vinny, you were mentioning the game theory video for the charity that Vinesauce does. You were represented with you playing Galgun. I saw that, and you said Gun Gal and not Galgun, which is a very different game. But it's true, yeah, that's true. I saw that. I was pretty, like, you know, like, this is life. I'm now known as the Galgun streamer. I actually had someone tweet me and say, Vinny, I was talking to someone about Vinesauce, and they said, oh, the Tetris streamer? So, that's kind of my life now.
I think you got to log into Steam Friends so we can join.
Oh, I do? Fucking hell, mate. You have access to my planet. Did you see that Nintendo's doing a tournament for Tetris where you can win $10 of Nintendo Fun Bucks? I did see that. I think it's nice. The idea is fine. The problem is this, the Nintendo reward thing now is pretty bad. It used to be good. Club Nintendo was great. And now it's just backgrounds and, you know, just fucking like screensavers. It's like, so really?
What could you buy in the club when it was great? Like, couldn't you get like a Mario hat or something like that?
I still have that fucking hat. I have most of the rewards, but you couldn't buy them. It was just if you bought enough games at the end of the year, you would get something physical. So like I got a Mario hat that I still have. You could get like a 3DS game case. I got a Luigi statue one year. What else? And I got a pin set that I really like buttons. And pouch. Stuff like that. Apparently Japan added physical rewards, but you need to pay for shipping with real money. And he wants to get the Mario Star Messenger bag. I have that too. Yep, I have the Mario Messenger bag.
I think my game is crashing and gotta restart real quick.
Okay.
The game, anyway.
Oh, I can move the rocket over. That was just annoying me that it was like hanging out over there. Anyway, today I'll be talking about Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings. No, today I'm going to talk minimally about Lord of the Rings compared to last Astroneer stream. And today I have to find lithium. This planet has lithium on it, and I think it will be really beneficial for us back at our home base for me to bring some of that over. And then we can explore the stars.
Lithium is pretty rare on this planet. I spent a long time looking, and it seems pretty unusual to find. I don't know.
He's on the other planet now.
I'm on a
Oh, that's right. You
weird
left.
planet, yeah.
All right, well, we'll be over here.
So you guys continue doing, if you have to build more rockets and stuff, Godspeed, but I'm just gonna be over here. And I'm gonna find some lithium.
I think we should continue digging downward.
Yeah, I heard the planet core was worth it from several other bipedals lately.
I hope I didn't hype it up too much. I mean, it's cool, but you'll, like, still be the same person after you've experienced it.
Well, I mean, I'll never be the same after the ring has taken hold of it. All right, I'll stop. No, really though, I wanted to go over some gamer news. There's some gamer news. But before I do that, I'd like to also do a quick banana chip review. So, I ate dinner not too long ago, and I want to say garlic naan from Trader Jim's, that's what I'm calling it these days, is quite good. So, that was cool. The nyan bread. That was cool. And now I have snacks in the form of banana chips. I was gonna say garlic chips, and that almost made me throw up. But let's check them out. I'm gonna have one. I don't often go for healthy snack alternatives because I like when my health depletes. It tastes better. But let's see. I'm gonna try one. Mute my mic. Really good. I need several more, hang on.
Is this your food review?
Hello and welcome. Today I'm wearing a cheap hoodie, a Paul McCartney concert t-shirt, and I'm eating banana chips from Trader Jim.
I hope you brought enough for the whole class.
Actually, there's enough here for you guys, yeah. I can't, I can't give them to you, so I won't.
Okay. It could actually be Peddler John's. There's different forms of traders.
Did you say Hedla Johns?
Peddler John's instead of,
Oh,
not sponsored stream name.
really, like really incognito.
I think they work with Red Bib.
Probably, yeah. I think they supply all of Red Bib's food, yeah, for sure. Red Bib was good, but like I said, it got to a point where I just didn't want to do it anymore. And there was like a weird decrease in quality over a couple of weeks. I remember getting some chicken that was like real questionable,
Did they ever actually send you any sort of bib or apron as
No.
an example? Wow.
I had to buy that shit myself.
Wow.
There was like a strange plant form that just, like, shot balls at me on this planet.
This is
is
probably
very
one of the
strange.
most vicious enemies of the game is the, I don't remember the actual name, but it shoots like clouds of gas at you, and it can kill you if that gas hits you. So you kind of, if you hear a slimy licking sound, you gotta head towards it and dig all the earth away from it so it dies.
Yeah, I did that. I got rid of it. Don't need it. Got rid of it. So quick thing, that these banana chips are actually really great. And someone asked earlier, probably, again, now that I think about it, the most irrelevant question anyone could ask me. But, did you get more of that banana juice? Yeah, I did, and I'm gonna probably get some in a moment. I don't know what the fuck, I'm turning into a little monkey fella. I just want them bananas. I mean, it's not just banana water, as people have been calling it. It's also, I mean, there's orange juice in there. It's orange, strawberry, banana. It's really good.
Have you ever had naked juice?
No. I don't know if we can talk about that on Twitch, though.
Is that against the terms of service?
Yeah, it is. What is it, Mono?
Well, first of all, it's really nice to be going to Target and to say I'm at Target getting naked. That's one of the benefits of it. But anyway, it's like a really high density kind of juice where it's, I'm using all these bad terms for chat, but it's really thick. And dense.
God.
So you barely have to drink much of it to get an extremely high dosage of like vitamins and things like that. It's pretty expensive though, it's a big drawback.
Oh, okay.
It tastes good though, but it's usually a mixture of like 6 or 7 different things, and there's a lot of different varieties and stuff too, but that's my recommendation.
Naked juice? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little scandalous, but you know what? If I see it, I will try it, as per your recommendation. I've had chat recommend things to me before that I've tried that I thought were great. Like just random things to get at Trader Jim's. Or Peddler Jose. What would you call it? Peddler John?
Peddler John.
Your name is John. John Trader. You peddle space wares, and you have to go to... Oh shit, I can see your icons in the sky.
Yeah, every planet you see in here is accessible. And I think there's an influential member of the game development industry who could better describe that moment. If you see it, you can travel to it. What I'm trying to say is if you see that mountain, you can climb it, but I couldn't figure out how to twist it into planets and stuff.
Neither can Todd. Not even he can twist his words into something that makes sense.
So whatever that new space game is that Bethesda's looking at, I'm waiting for that tagline that he says at E3 to tell us that every planet you can seek, you can travel to.
You can go to 4 locations, and everyone's like, wait, what? This isn't the Todd that I know.
There's the elf planet, the dwarf planet, the red
The Dwemer planet.
The Jesta planet.
What?
Skyrim planet. Oh, wait.
One day, it'll be like Ready Player One. You can just go to whatever planet you want, and you can go to Skyrim planet. I like how at the end of Super Paper Mario, the game actually turned into Skyrim. That was a cool feature. It was like a preview of the game to come out from a different company 4 years later. You know, I can't find any... Oh, God. I just got walloped. Anyway, I'm looking for lithium. I think someone said they're in caves.
Yeah, usually if you don't see anything on the surface within like the first couple minutes of looking around, it's probably in a cave.
Mm-hmm. Appears to be. I'm just collecting some stuff. So for anyone who's just joining who hasn't watched too much of the Astroneer stuff, right now I'm on the 2nd planet we've been to. Mono and Dave are on the 1st planet. We have a large base. So I'm Mark Damon in Interstellar. And Mono and Dave are Anne Hathaway and Matthew McConaughey. I use Mark Damon for movie The Room. Yeah, Tommy, I don't know if we can get Matt Damon. Well, I name main character Mark instead to name after Mark Damon. Okay, let me place this down. I'm gonna go about my mission to find some lithium. I'd be so happy if I could find some lithium. You know, I tried to twist that into a Nirvana reference and I just gave up.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. I'm gonna be right back though because I need to get some of that wacky banana water.
All right. This
Be right
is
back.
now a Dave stream.
Oh! Oh, that's right.
Hey, Dave, how's it going?
Pretty good, Dave. How are you?
Did you know that Dave rhymes with slave?
Oh, no.
We're the Dave slaves.
No. No, Dave saves. Dave saves.
Dave save. I like that better.
Yeah, yeah. Dave likes to save before he goes into the cave.
Just a Dave in a cave. Totally not a slave.
Oh yeah, I like to rave. Chat knows that.
Oh, behave. I've run out of material. Chat, help.
It's funny, he said we were Anne Hathaway and Matthew McConaughey. I've been
those-
told.
All
I've been
right.
told.
Actors?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, you're the double Daves.
We're the double D.
Oh, okay.
You missed my song earlier, so you'll just have to watch the VOD.
Okay.
Because I know you regularly watch your own streams right after you go offline.
Yeah. Yeah, that's half of my day is, so I stream for 4 hours, and then I watch the stream the next day for 4 hours, and then I listen to all of my albums all the way through for a couple hours. And, and then after that, I guess I go back to one old stream and just watch that. And then, somewhere in there I find time to eat and drink banana water. By the way, speaking of, do you guys, what's your favorite type of water, with or without pulp?
Well, usually if I'm drinking pulp water, I'm probably about to die, so I can't say that I've ever had it.
If we're talking like juice.
No.
No. No, just regular water without pulp, please. Thank you.
Okay. Noted.
But, you know, there is hard and soft water. Have you ever
Yeah.
had soft water before?
What, in science?
No, like people buy water softeners. It's real.
What?
Like my parents do. Because some water has extremely high mineral content in it, so they use water softeners to like lighten the amount of minerals and stuff. And it's kind of gross. I don't recommend it.
Yeah, that
Tastes
sounds
gross.
that sounds awful, Mono. I don't like that. I gotta find out. I know hard water isn't that used in nuclear reactors?
Probably. Well, what is that whole deal?
Right?
There's like this super purified type of water that's used
heavy
in, like,
water.
radiation-related things.
Heavy water. I thought that was hard water. Hard water is alcoholic. I believe they just call that vodka.
There was a weird article, it was kind of along those lines, about this like chamber that is in China, I think, where it looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it has this specially treated water in it, where it's like just touching the water for too long of an amount of time like can kill you, and they like row out into this big like chamber full of water in these little boats, and they test like radiation going through different materials and stuff. It's like the most surreal thing ever. There's an article on it.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that. It's weird.
There's a lot of interesting stuff that's done to like to measure the tiniest signals that are forms of radiation flowing through us, that make, you know, like a purification chamber, and so
Yeah.
there's no noise or interruptions of any kind.
Well, speaking of, if you watch that Flat Earth documentary, they have something that's supposed to measure the rotation of the Earth, and they tried it a couple times, and it measured rotation, and they were like, we can't have that! So they decided to, now they're going to try to put it in some kind of, like, fucking bismuth chamber or whatever, so that, and don't quote me on this, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about generally, but they're gonna try the experiment again, but they're trying to get the experiment to do, you know, to prove that the Earth is flat, but the experiment is proving otherwise, and they're just kind of ignoring it. Vinny, please stop watching these things. Oh, no, it's a documentary about it. It's not them, you know, trying to convince... It's actually kind of a neutral documentary, but it more kind of pokes fun at that. So don't worry about that. It's not like I'm sitting here like fucking Eddie Bravo, like, yo, the Earth is flat. No, I'm good.
So is it like a nature documentary where, like, they're sitting at a distance with binoculars looking at the flat earthers from a distance, like, observe them in natural habitat?
Not really. They interview the main guy, and it's the main famous dude, and it's kind of like a... God, it's like... I saw some fucking parallels to, like, streamers. I was like, oh boy, this is uncomfortable. But he got famous from it, you know, and so now... Like, he likened it to the Truman Show. The dude likened it to being in the Truman Show, and he actually said on the documentary, if Truman were the mayor of the town, and he had everything he wanted, he would have never wanted to leave. And this is at the end of the documentary, so the guy doing the documentary, one of the cameramen, or the questionnaire, whatever, says, so aren't you like the mayor of Flat Earth? And the dude just looks down wistfully, and he's like, oh shit. And so he's got that level of attention that he gets, and so even if they do prove that the Earth is round unequivocally, then I believe he's still going to try to find a way to hold on to that, because it's made him, you know, famous, and well liked, and it's really sad. It's a character study, and it's also a you know, I mean, it goes into some experiments that they did, and at the end of the very last scene is an experiment that proves that there is a curvature of the Earth. Anyway, I recommend it. It's on Netflix. It's worth watching, and it's fascinating, and it's a psychology documentary as much as it is one about the Earth being flat. It's not like, here we observe the flat Earther in its natural habitat. Not like that. So, but it's you know, it's real easy to get convinced. If you're, you know, suggestible, you can believe a lot of shit. This is coming from someone who does believe in aliens to some extent. So, I mean, I kind of have some sympathy, but then it gets weird and abusive, and you start, like, doing shit that's not good for you and others, and it's like, okay, this is maybe do a little bit more than watch a YouTube video.
And I think you're in kind of a power position here, being in front of thousands of people. Like, if you, in a convincing enough way, said a total lie of some kind, I'm sure there's at least a few hundred of people that would 100% believe whatever you said.
Sure. So I'd like to announce nothing. Nothing at all. Hollow Cube Earth? We can stick with that one if you want, chat. Minecraft Earth? Is that real? Is that real? No.
Because you said cube, so anything that's cube
yeah, it's
now
instantly
belongs to
right.
Minecraft.
Right. Minecraft invented cube.
Earth is just tons of voxels.
I believe that theory.
Really tiny. Really tiny.
Well, I mean, if you really think about it, the building blocks of the world around us, you know, there is definitely some, like, if you want to go down to the subatomic level, those are like supercomputer versions of, like, Minecraft blocks. Just 100 years technology from now. 100 years from now technology, yeah.
Sure.
So there is a simulation theory. I mean, you know, there is a theory that we are in this planet all just in some kind of simulation. I believe Muse made an album about it because, you know, they're fucking Muse and they can't help themselves, so...
Now chat thinks you're talking about cats.
Cats?
You know, things that go mew.
No, Mew! Mew. Oh, like, why would I call a cat a Muse?
No, cats, multiple cats mewing, create mews.
Right, like, so am I calling the cats Muse as like a nickname for them? Like they're... That's weird. Alright, fine, whatever you like.
Turonian said, like the Greek symbol. Wait, isn't that moo?
Yeah, I think it's moon.
Oh.
But I believe in Greek it's pronounced me, I'm pretty sure. That's weird. The way that the mathematics community pronounces Greek letters is a lot different than actual Greeks pronounce Greek letters.
Someone just got mad at me and said that, Vinny, you say that boobs are Robertsons. So I guess we're even then, fine. If you want to call a cat a Mew, I'm okay with it. That's all good. That's fine. But hang on a minute. There's a reason you know, it's not just like random. It's because open Bob's BB. And Bob is, you know, Robert, and then Robertson. There's like a line, there's some logic here. I mean, there is some method to the madness. Deep within that madness, there is some meaning.
So is that the comedic value is that it is so far disconnected from the original reference.
Yes.
That therein lies the comedy.
Congratulations, Data, you figured out the joke.
Becoming more human every day.
Every day. There is an episode of TNG where Data actually goes to a comedian and, you know, he learns comedy, and it's Joe Piscopo of all people. And that's later on. I mean, most of you guys know the clip because I played it on stream where he goes, "Guy walks into the doctor's office." You know, and like, Data has to figure out what all the jokes mean. And, yeah, as such, he has to explain the meaning, and then Whoopi Goldberg is like, you know, Data, if you have to explain the meaning of the joke, it's not funny anymore. And then Data's like, I will never be human. It's a sad tale.
What that's like.
Yeah, me too.
And then he became a little too human later on.
Yeah, he did. They gave him an emotion chip. I was like, please stop. Hey, I found lithium finally.
What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know, actually. I have no idea why I'm getting this, but I figured if there's a rare resource on this planet, I'll just bring it to you guys and you can, you know, we can work together to discover the secret.
I say we should make a medium battery out of it.
Yeah, I agree.
One thing I wanted to talk about was, and Mono, you haven't watched it yet, right? The documentary?
On Astroneer?
Yeah.
I watched the first 2/3 of it. I haven't watched all the way through, but it's been really good so far, I think.
So, you got to some of the parts that were really emotional then, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention real quick. So, I started streaming this a couple weeks ago, and, I guess there's this documentary coming out, you know, and I didn't know. And then people were like, Vinny, there's a documentary coming out. I was like, oh, cool, alright, well, I'll watch it. I want to know how the game was developed. I thought it was going to be just brass tacks. I thought it was going to be like, well, we made this game, and here's the tech, and here's why we did it. And it's like kind of a gut punch of a documentary. It's a no-clip documentary, and it's really sad, but also kind of inspiring in a lot of ways. And it goes from the very beginnings of the game to the 1.0 version, which is what was just released, to the tragedy of one of the team members passing away. And, you know, I don't really know the full details, and it's kind of heartbreaking, and I just want to say, if any of the devs are watching in any capacity whatsoever, you know, thank you for putting the work into this, and also you have my deepest condolences for all the hardship you went through. And thanks for pushing through. It was sad as fuck, actually. But I think it's worth watching because they have a lot of strength You know, the part that hit me the hardest was that one of the lead team members, I'm sorry to reopen old wounds for anyone, but one of the lead team members, you know, who designed so much of this game, really talented artist, his DNA is pretty much all over this game, and the people on the team that knew him best had to continue working on it, and still continue working on it, you know, despite the fact that it reminds them of their friend. And I thought that takes so much fucking, like, courage. That's a lot of, that's a lot. So, yeah, sorry, I don't mean to make the stream a downer, but I would recommend watching the documentary because it is way more of a story than I thought it would be. Like, it's an actual, you're not gonna find a story like that almost anywhere else. And here I was streaming this game, like, oh, it's a fun little space game, it's a fun little thing, it's, you know, and no, there's a lot behind it. There's a lot of passion behind it, too. One of my favorite parts was how when No Man's Sky flopped, they were like, hey, we don't want to do what they did, so we're just gonna be transparent all the way through, and if the game sucks, we're gonna tell people it sucks.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
It didn't. But I appreciate the call for transparency. That's quite nice. And then No Man's Sky eventually got better, but you know, that's a game that should have been delayed 2 years. But that's a whole other story. They were the Astroneer team was a little bit worried that the appetite for space games like this was like soured by that game. And to be real, kind of was for a little while. One of the main reasons I didn't want to play Astroneer in its earlier forms, as I've always said, was it just seemed light on features. And now it's... you know, there's a lot more, especially with this new update. And I was like, fuck it, I wanna try it. So I did. But, yeah, they did a good job with it, for sure. And especially when it comes to distinguishing yourself in a crowded genre. And not just, like, space survival genre, but space buildy, Minecrafty genre.
And I can't remember the exact term they used, but I thought it was really striking where it's like when No Man's Sky came out, they were saying that, like, oh no, people are going to see space games, and the negativity surrounding the initial launch of No Man's Sky is forever going to plague the game because of the timing, even though it's like it has nothing to do with No Man's Sky. But I see that constantly with other games too, where it's like, oh, here's a space game, even if the gameplay has nothing to do with one another except space. And then people make the connection like, oh, I know space games. This one space game sucked, so therefore all space games suck.
Yeah.
Or if there's a colorful space game, wow, No Man's Sky ripoff. There's colors in space.
Yeah. I mean, you can't help but do it. It's too easy not to. You know, and life is hard enough, and it's hard to keep track of everything. So I kind of have some sympathy for that sort of thing, because there is a lot of, you know, there's a lot out there, and you have to make quick judgment calls, and we have limited brain yachts as humans, so of course we make comparisons. But it's not always fair. It's not always fair. It's like, you know, there are times, and I'm going to use a terrible example, but I'm going to use this example regardless because it is, I think it's relevant. There are times where, you know, I've talked, like people I've worked with in the past or people I've spoken to that were outside of my social circle, that we talk about music, and I tell them, you know, I like guitar and rock, and they're like, oh, rock music. I like Nickelback. They're alright. I'm like, oh, well, no. And they're like, well, this has actually happened on 2 occasions in my life, and one person was like, that's the only rock band that they listen to a little bit. And I said, no, that's not really the type of rock music I listen to. There's a lot of stuff out there. But it's like associating an entire genre with one thing. That's a real easy thing to do.
Yeah, I kind of feel a similar way, like I like a lot of electronic music and just kind of weird ambient sorts of stuff like you hear in the game right now. But, you know, a lot of people who aren't into the genre just immediately like, oh, is that dubstep? Yeah. Oh yeah, I heard dubstep. Is that techno? Like, I'm just like, no.
There's
Please
more
don't.
to it than that, yeah. Or it's like vaporwave. Like I made the mistake of calling things vaporwave When people were like, Vinny, that's not that. I'm like, yeah, I guess not.
You could always do what I do and just really enjoy a genre nobody's ever heard. So that way,
Meat
when
step?
you say, oh, I'm into electro swing, you're like, what the fuck is that?
Is that like Caravan Palace?
Yes, that's exactly it.
See, I mean, can't fool me, Dave.
Did you watch their latest music video?
I did.
Do you regret watching it?
No, of course not.
Okay.
They're French. It's awesome.
Oh, that makes it okay then.
Yeah.
Lads, I'm heading back to you. I just don't know how to find the planet you're on.
It's the easy one.
Do I mouse over it until I find it?
Yeah.
Are you on Sylva? Sylva?
Yes.
Yep, that's the home planet.
Try to listen. Try to land in the right spot if I can.
And there was a comment about the Caravan Palace music video, I think it was on the YouTube, where they said like, does that plant actually exist? Asking for my little friend. And I laughed out loud. So watch the video and that'll make sense.
What do I do now? I'm orbiting. Do I just click on the right dome?
Yeah, make sure it's the one with like the home beacon over it. You should be able to see the.
Okay, I haven't found any home beacons yet, but I'll keep my eyes open.
Yeah, you just kind of slowly rotate around.
Yeah, it's relative to the orbit of the planet, so you have to kind of just wait until the planet's facing you, and then you can see our beacons.
Well, I did find there's one with an alien structure.
Yeah, you're able to see those from space, basically.
Okay.
I think
But
all
there's-
of them have the alien structures.
Yeah,
Pretty
they
sure.
do. Yeah, just wait it out. You'll see your beacon eventually.
Also, this
Wait.
this banana water might be a little too sugary for this time of night. I just thought about that.
Can you get a sugar high?
I might. It's good. I love it, but it might be. You know, might turn into a little monkey fella. Couple other pieces of news, which is Turok is coming to the Switch, the remastered version, and I streamed it. I streamed the PC version, and you know what? It aged kind of poorly, but the remaster is good. I would say it's worth checking out. I liked it quite a bit. I actually liked it better than Turok 2, just because Turok 2's levels are so fucking labyrinthian and confusing. But Turok 1 has a nice balance, I feel. I do like the weapons and enemies and physics of death in Turok 2 better. But Turok 1, I think was overall maybe a slight bit more fun for me. Big old cock tower in the distance. And what else? There was another piece of video game news, right?
Was it Kid Icarus and Star something are on the Switch now?
Star Tropics?
Oh,
Star
yeah.
Tropics.
Kid Icarus and Star Tropics on the NES. Is it about Anthem bricking PS4s? You couldn't do a worse launch if you tried. Anthem... What a mess. No, it's not Kid Icarus Uprising, it's the original Kid Icarus. And by the way, let me throw this out there. Oh, Fallout 76 had a pretty rough launch, yeah. Did it brick a PS4, though? I don't know. See, that's the difference. If you're, like, if your game is breaking expensive consoles, it's a little bit worse. But anyway, yeah, Star Tropics I've never played, and I know it's supposedly a very good NES game. Maybe one day I'll remedy that, check it out. Kid Icarus, I still think is great for what it is. Has its issues, but another solid addition to that NES library. Here's the thing, though. The 3DS version of Kid Icarus is actually better. It's got some nice visual flair. It's got, you know, overlays, like on the sides. And it's got, like, when you jump, you can tap the jump button, and you kind of, like, flutter a little bit, so you can make jumps a little bit more easy, which that game, I think, needs because of how fucking crazy the difficulty can spike. And, of course, there's a save system. So, but, I mean, with the with the Switch version, you could save anyway. But I just want to throw this out there. Kid Icarus is good. I don't think it's amazing. I think it's good. But I do think, just play the 3DS version if you get a chance. If you really want to check it out. If you like my Kid Icarus streams or whatever. It's a little bit better.
Was it Star Tropics that had that really weird music bug in it, where like one of the songs was broken on the actual cartridge at shift, and then someone recently like went into the code and fixed the song, so then people heard it in its true glory for the first time ever? I think that was Star Tropics.
Jesus.
That was a cool
That's really...
story.
I like that lore. Oh, with lithium you can make small batteries.
Yeah, it's everything power related, usually lithium. But the small batteries you can just find laying around.
Yeah.
I would spend it on a medium battery, because then you can attach it to your vehicle and drive around forever.
Here's a medium battery. We have it unlocked to 1 lithium, 1 zinc. Let me see what else needs lithium. What's an RTG?
It's like essentially nuclear power. It's like the end game power source that you don't get until you've like been everywhere.
Okay.
It's not actually nuclear power, but it's like weird like isotope something or other, and it's like the best source of power.
Gotcha. For anyone who keeps referencing the game theory video, I mentioned it earlier. I was very happy to be included, and remember, it's not just me that does the charity stream, even though they represented it as me playing Galgun. But it was, you know, it's nice to be even a footnote in a charity capacity, because we do work hard on that, even if Galgun is our, you know, is what we're known for. That's fine. But, yeah, I mean, so a lot of people have been telling me about that, but yeah, I've seen it.
It's kind of funny where it's like, you'll have just huge amounts of time that you spent on stream and like moments that you're proud of and things like that. And then there'll be like a 10-second clip of you like getting really angry at like Super Mario Galaxy or something, and then that goes viral and then everybody knows you for that. It's like how that works out.
Well, think about it like this. What if you're a musician and you have one song? And then, you know, but like, look at the Bee Gees. I mean, you don't need to look at them if you don't want to, but the Bee Gees were a band for most of their career that sounded like the Beatles. They did a lot of songs that sounded Beatly. And, you know, years later, they had some hits with this disco stuff that they did that was a little bit more, you know, beat-oriented. And, they had some hits, and then they became known as Disco Band.
It's just like whatever little thing makes you famous will follow you around forever.
And you can lean into it. I mean, Leonard Nimoy was famous for being Spock, and he was pretty upset because he wasn't getting any good roles after that. And he got typecast, so he wrote a book called I Am Not Spock. And then, years later, he realized, well, wait a minute, this was a good role, and I like being Spock. And I kind of, you know, I'm okay with it. And so he wrote a book called I Am Spock. And he went to lots of conventions, and he talked about the positive effect that Star Trek had on the world. And he wrote a song about a hobbit. Bilbo, Bilbo, Bilbo Baggins. So, you know, there's no... You can lean into your success, you could resent it, you can eat pant, you could not eat pant, you could dance if you want to. It's kind of fine. This whole time I was trying to place the thing on the printer, not having it selected. By the way, these frame rates are getting crusty.
Yeah, it's lagging for me pretty bad too. I don't know what's going on.
It's because I'm headed to the center.
Oh, is that why? I think it might be similar to like in a Minecraft server where as you explore and it's generating stuff that it like slows everything down.
We took away the tethers, mostly, so someone said it was probably the tethers. Here's the thing though, they recognize that there's some issues that they need to fix. They released a small patch a couple days ago, and I think they're identifying the issues that are creating these shitty fucking frame rates, and they're going to try to fix them. So that was the last I heard about that.
It definitely seems to be connected to multiplayer too, because like when I'm playing by myself and I'm exploring and doing everything all over the place, that it just it runs fine and never run into this problem. So it's got to
Really?
be some kind of weird host to client thing happening with like CPU usage or whatever.
Well, I wonder, I mean, I thought it was because I was streaming it. Maybe, you know, the streaming software was slowing it down, but I mean, it's the only game that would be slowed down if that were the case. And so, I don't know.
Say, Dave, how close do you think you are to the core? Have you reached the mantle yet?
I reached mushroom layer.
Oh, okay, that's further than me then. I think I should go over towards you.
Yeah, you should take my slide.
Do you have oxygen down there?
There's a checkpoint, and I have everything on me to build a second checkpoint. So I'm just getting to that stage.
Well, I'm going to die, and then I'll come find you. Just like Ganon in Faces of Evil.
Ah!
Die.
Die.
It's really sad, but I was really into CDI Zelda back when it was hip with the youths, when it was YTP stuff. And I like memorized like the entire intro sequence and outro sequence for no reason, and parts of Hotel Mario too. It's like the worst use of my memory space in my brain, but
Yeah. Well, now that I'm in this cave, I can tell you that most of my memory is taken up by... That's bad. I mean, that's just straight... I have no encouraging words for you. Like, that's just awful. Sorry. But the truth is, like, I kind of... For me, considering I'm in this cave, a lot of that useless memory is just like Lord of the Rings lore, fucking Star Wars stuff that I learned when I was a kid. You know, Zelda. Like, I know too much about nothing useful.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, well, I mean, probably most of the viewers here today, too. Or at least some of them. You know, we that's what we do, and that's why we watch video games and stream them. You know, we all have like something that's not real, like some fiction, some world. But the weird thing is, if you make the world, you can have a living and become famous. And even become a legend. So, like Tolkien, now that since we're talking Lord of the Rings again, since I'm in the Lord of the Rings cave, you know, Tolkien created this fucking nerdy world of elves and dwarves and fucking hobbits. And, you know, dude's a legend. So there you go.
And
the Hobbertsons.
Speaking of remembering useless information, that even weirder is that I remembered some of the variations on the quotes from CDI Zelda that people made in their YTPs. And one of my favorite lines was the king saying, "My ship's for dinner. I wonder what sails in the morning." And I would think about it and just laugh in the middle of like biology class in school and just look crazy.
Oh god, you were worse than me then, Mono.
Yeah.
Someone just said big same, so you have, there's people here that recognize this.
It's good to get a virtual pat on the back by chat sometimes, like if they're not mocking the streamer, at least you can not feel as weird and messed up as you think you are with when there's weird and messed up people in the chat as well.
Well, weird and messed up is what makes us special.
I know, right?
Yep. I'm all messed up, Vinny using millennial slang is so surreal. Oh, here's the mushrooms. But you forget that I'm technically a millennial. Oh, great, I died.
I don't know, that's a big, complex conversation I'm starting to learn, that when you try to figure out what generation you're a part of, everybody has their own perception of what defines you as what generation, and it just turns into like a train wreck.
Oh yeah,
so
no, take a look at chat.
I resort to just saying yeah, it's already happening.
Someone just said, not technically, you are. And then within 3 lines of that, it was like, Vinny, you're absolutely not a millennial. So, have fun with that. I'm ruining the Applebee's industry, everybody. I'm the one. Me.
And I think it's funny, we got the old boomer meme going on, where it's like, I wonder
I'm an elder
how
boomer.
many people who say boomer. I know, it's like, how many of them know that boomers are like 70 to 80 years old, I believe, right now?
Well,
the meme says.
There's also Generation X, there's Generation Y, there's a lot of like subcategories, but the meme is, of course, the word boomer. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure most people here that use the word boomer absolutely know what it means, which is that after World War II, there was a big boom of childbirth because people were celebrating the fact that Hitler died, and they were like, they're like, yo, we won, and so they just started fucking, and they fucked so much that there was an entire generation of people that then became named as boomer.
I just think of Left 4 Dead boomers.
Behold, centuries of thrust. Sorry. You see, this is the history lesson you get with me. You don't get like, you learn about P from Charles Martinet. You learn about World War II veterans fucking like crazy. And you learn the history of the Ring and Isildur. So, sorry, Mono, what were you gonna say?
I just said, my sneezes make time freezes.
Thanks for remembering that one. See, there's those memory banks just clogged up again.
I'll remember this for the rest of my life. Against my will.
Yeah, probably. Probably me too. So I just died in the cave, and I guess I don't even care. I lost some cool stuff though, so that sucks.
So once we get to the core, we can hold your hand, and we can prance down to the core.
And guide me.
Give you a tour, yeah.
Well, if you come across a body... Oh Jesus, mushrooms just stabbed me.
You thought they were your friend your whole life.
Vinny, hey man, just an FYI, you can manually steal stuff out of your friends' backpacks in this. Just pick it out, haha. That haha was really unnecessary. Yeah. I know, Mono. I just, I need you to be my guide on this journey, please.
Come down to my wild slide.
I already fucking burst a nurse down there, So
I think the most basic technique to survive in Astroneer is to always have resin in your backpack, so you can make oxygen filters, which will fully refill your backpack. So it's a good emergency.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And we can make resin with dirt, or as the
The Searle?
grossology guy would probably pronounce dirt like doit.
Doit!
Use the Searle! Excuse me, sir, what is Searle? You put it in the Earl burner. But yeah, I really... man, this performance at this game is just... upsetting. The portable oxygenator... that requires energy, right?
Well, that one is kind of an end game thing too. The materials that it needs are like not on this planet.
Okay.
So I usually get extra oxygen tanks that will extend your full capacity of your oxygen, and then bring resin with you for filters. And then that way you can be off tethers for a really long time without dying.
Okay, I definitely want to get off the tethers. So, I need more copper. What do I need for copper again?
Malachite, which is like green crystals, kind of green and orange.
Shit, okay, I don't even know I'm gonna find that. I have 1 copper. I need some glass too. All that cool stuff I had is now gone. Fuck.
That's pretty easy to find. Well, best of all is that we can use the centrifuge that's up here to get like any of that. Like you can get quartz out of it, you can get it all from Doit.
Show me, Mono. Show me your ways.
Alright, so got this canister here, and you attach the canister to your gun, and then you just go mental, pulling dirt into it until it fills and it has a green light on it, and then you bring it to the centrifuge. That's actually what I'm doing right now too.
Copper is found in mountainous places. Okay.
I think really for our venture to the middle of the planet, we just need a lot of oxygen, really. Like, we don't really need too many other upgrades. I mean, I assume that Dave is already using different drill types to get through the mantle.
Yeah, you need at least the first drill mod.
Oh, yeah, you need to attach the canister to your gun.
I got it. No, you can leave it on your backpack.
Oh, does it work that way? Oh.
So, I got the Searle. Alright, Searle's in. Do you need more than 1 Searle?
For quartz, I think 1 canister can get you 2 quartz. So that should be enough. If you just bring up the little...
And quartz is for glass, right?
Yep.
Wow, this is incredibly useful. Wow. That makes like, life easy.
It makes things significantly easier. The only thing where it gets harder is that other planets, the dirt is extremely hard, so it takes forever to fill a canister up. So this is like, you know, the tutorial planet.
That other planet I was on had some pretty weird, hard, heavy dirt.
Hard and heavy?
I mean, someone fucks dirt out there. Someone found that very interesting.
Green team.
What did,
dig a hole.
Shut up. Don't! What did Stephen Dorff say in True Detective? He goes, everybody's fucking something. So, if it's Doit, I mean, God bless. You shouldn't. But, you know. Not until you get a UTI, Vinny. Okay then, we're gonna stop talking about this.
See, when we're not talking about dirty things, there's nothing to talk about.
We lost the thread, officially.
So I brought one of the medium generators down to the mushroom lake next to an oxygenator so you can refill everything down.
So Dave, did you start in the tunnel that I put my beacon by, or are you in a totally separate one?
It's right next to the base, actually.
Is
it's
it
like into the mountain.
Is it marked
Oh, so
in
you
any
have
way?
your own.
It's
move
right behind
my
the
beacon.
big tower.
Because Mono's hole is a clusterfuck. No offense, Mono. I mean, it's cool and everything, but... You know.
It was before I learned how to dig deep
don't like the stream anymore. It's getting too weird. Getting too weird. A little weird.
It's like a banana in a hallway, basically.
No, it's a hot dog in a hallway. That's the quote. And Fred Durst was like, "Chill, I'm gonna write an album about it." Limp Bizkit and the hot dog flavored hallway.
How do you taste a hallway?
Fred Durst, man, he knows. Vinny, that was the worst Durst impression I've ever heard.
Worst Durst?
Was it also the first Durst impression that you've ever heard?
Thirst for the worst first Durst.
That was like rap god shit. That was like fucking Eminem, Chris D'Elia.
Should hear my SoundCloud.
Don't you love it when like something blows up? It's like, it's amazing how, you know, you'll be on Twitter and I'll be like, these poor kids are suffering. They're not getting enough food and water. And it's awful and the people need to be held accountable for this. And then the tweet blows up and then the next tweet in the comments is, haha, didn't expect this to blow up. Here's my SoundCloud. Also, here's my Patreon.
Right.
This blew up. So, oh, why am I doing Mongolian throat singing? Mono, quick question.
Yes.
We have a smelting furnace, and that can be used. We put the quartz on there, right? And then the other stuff, graphite and stuff, and that turns it into the other things, like glass and shit, right?
Yep, we put quartz to get glass, and then glass to oxygen tank. It's usually what I use it for.
Okay. Then he saved the graphite? Okay, never mind then.
The graphite's useful for making the packager, or packaginator, or whatever.
What was... this is probably going to be a little incendiary, but I'm going to mention there was... So Luke Perry sadly passed away yesterday, and there was a Twitter news article about it. And then I think there was a tweet below that was like, ignore Luke Perry, stan K-pop star instead. And that blew up. And then, you know, I don't know, it was a big mess. Something like that. I don't know what that was. That's a meme now? Oh god.
Isn't this what, is it Raiden warned us about?
Raiden, he did, yeah.
Did you find the hole yet, Mono? With the slide?
I think I need to turn a light on, I can't find it. No, I haven't gone down yet. I'm trying to get a drill head for my gun.
My favorite flavor of juice is gun.
One ceramic, Mono. Yeah, we already have the research. So we need one more oxygenator with one more platform. And then we'll be good once we get to the center.
How do we make more copper? Just for shits and giggles.
I think for that you actually have to find the malachite. Like we can't use the cheat machine to get it.
Right, gotcha. Vinny, did you know The Prodigy? Yes.
Did you guys like play video games together at one point, or?
No. I just remember the song. Do you imagine? Like I grew up with the Prodigy. Yeah, it was another... I talked about that on stream the other day. I didn't know the music that well. I knew some songs, but... It's just a big... sad day the other day. Yesterday, right? I'm gonna go look for some stuff on mountains while you guys are busy, drilling to the center of the earth. So, I'll try to get some materials and bring them back. Oh, here's the materials.
So Dave, what did you need me to bring down there? I'm about to head down.
I came back up.
Oh, okay.
One platform, one oxygenator.
Oh, right, and you need ceramic for that, right? For the oxygenator? Yep. And I think aluminium, mate.
Yeah, we got 4 of those.
What's really cool with the suit that... I guess you're not using it anymore, but the Sylvia suit, that if you spam the wave emote, that it looks pretty unbelievable. But you need to have the Sylvia suit up.
Is it the one you have?
No, I have the retro one that's given to people who played the game when it was in early access, but I can switch to it.
I don't see anything called the Sylvia.
Or it's the Terran suit.
That one?
You could be a little monkey
Yeah,
fella.
your little monkey fella. It's cool. I like it. Grookey. That's who I'm. Grookey. Mental. It's a little drummer. Just drumming
I
around.
like how
a bit.
the documentary specifically mentions that moment of that they left spamming emotes in because of a certain archetype of player that they called the social near or something like that. Like they design the game around the idea of different ways that people like to play. They had the pioneer, the engineer.
That's right, yeah.
And the socialier. People just want to be goofy and not do anything helpful.
That was me last time we streamed this. But there's a lot of ways that you can... Well, actually, no, that's not true, because I didn't voice chat with you guys, so I was like... the antisocial... social... engineer. Where I was just talking, and then eventually I just, like, kind of... dug a little bit, and then... dinked a little bit.
Read my mind.
I do notice that this game, or a lot of games along these lines, are really hard to play and stream. Because it's like, for me anyway, like it's so hard to multitask because you think so many steps ahead and then you get distracted for 1 second and you're like, what were the 8 things I was going to do? And then you end up just kind of wandering around.
I actually say that that's actually very accurate. Actually. AKS surely. I would say that that's very accurate. And the reason I would say that's accurate is because I do get sidetracked very easily, especially if I go off on a tangent about the ring, and if you would tether the ring to a Golem rocket, and then send that shit into Mordor. But the truth is, I can kind of do it. I can kind of stream this game and talk at the same time. But, you know, I'm not going to put my full thought into it. And it's not as fun for me to stream this if I'm not going to say anything. So I just accept the fact that I'm going to be terrible at it. That's fine.
So I do recommend the chat that if you want to get the full experience of this game, I recommend playing by yourself for a while until you understand how everything works. You can play smoothly.
That's right. Like a smooth, flat turd.
Like a smooth baby, like Norix.
Oh god, yeah, I forgot about that. That was his code name.
You can call me Smooth Baby.
Smooth baby.
You can call me
Booger.
Weird Weirdo and Mr. Person.
Mr. Person.
Why do I gotta be Mr. Person?
I mean, we're headed, you know, we should just, like, as humanity, we should just be as, like, white bread and vanilla as possible when it comes to life, and just, like, everyone can be Mr. Person. You know? Like, we could just all just be, like, people. People friends with no names. And just, you know, it would be nice that way. No one gets mistaken ever again. Everyone's just people.
Can't argue
I don't
with
even know
that.
what any of that was. Listen,
Yeah.
I tried my best. I tried to make a point in there somewhere, but there was nothing.
See, the key to being successful on social media is to say things that feel right, even if they aren't right, and people will get behind you unconditionally.
That's true. Or, if you, like my statement just there about being people persons, like if it sounds like it might be profound, even though it's not, and there's nothing behind it.
Isn't that the key to being a successful musician?
It can be. There's a lot of pop bands that kind of have that, where like they'll repeat the same thing, like let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Like it's nice, and then there's also let it go, let it go, let it go, yeah, let it go.
And number nine.
Yeah, I'd argue
Those
that
are profound.
that was nothing. When the Beatles made Revolution Number 9, there was an attempt to say something, you know, into like there was some artistic attempt in there, and it's supposed to represent like a riot and like a new world forming, like a utopia. I didn't know any of that for years, and then I found out. I'm like, oh, there's a story here. I still skip it.
I don't know, I kind of enjoy just collections of sound.
Sound collages. That's fine. I can
Yeah.
deal with that, but Revolution Number 9 is annoying. It's just like abrasive and harsh, and it gets everywhere.
Like no material in particular.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, none. Yeah, none.
But how else would everyone have been informed that Paul is dead?
The Magical Mystery Tour album cover and Abbey Road.
Oh, so there's redundancy.
Mm-hmm. Though, well, there's plenty of Paul is dead, quote-unquote, evidence. That was the original Flat Earth. But, you know, again, even if you meet Paul McCartney and he's like, no, I'm not dead, it just doesn't matter. If you think he's dead to you. But anyway, yeah, I think the successful musician thing, saying things that don't actually really mean anything but sound profound, I think you're onto something with that. But I'd also argue that there's some music where it's just too much. Like every sentence means something, and it's like an outpouring. And so you got like kind of somewhere in the middle, I think, is a good mix.
Well, I think there's that quote that I really like where it's people won't remember your name or what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And I think that applies to just art and everyday life. Like those are the memories that last.
Well,
Holy shit, Vinny, you found something really rare.
a zebra ball?
The zebra ball, you have to worship it now.
I haven't even found that thing yet.
Marble it up.
I have two okay, I'm not gonna finish that.
Get out of here. I was gonna say, when you said, you know, how you make people feel, that's something they remember. I was gonna make a joke about Ghostbusters and bustin' makes them feel good, but then I said, you know what? That was a good sentiment. I'm gonna ruin it. I'm good.
Say
Also, I
Dave.
want to start being able to salvage all this material that's just out there.
Bring carbon down. Yeah, what's up?
So does your tunnel, once I get to the end of the tethers, do I keep going or am I on the wrong track?
Keep going. I only put enough so that if you're running up from the second tier and you don't have any oxygen, you'll be able to stay.
Okay. Because in my own planet, I made a whole system where I just have a path of gray that I follow everywhere. Because when you flatten stuff out, that it turns gray. So I just like painted the ground that way.
These fucking
This is just
really nice.
This is just one long slide. There is no deep.
This is a research item, so I should just put it on the thing, right?
I think the zebra ball you could put on a platform, and every morning we will worship it.
Oh.
It's a morality item.
It's for the social ears.
Yeah.
Well, I can't actually... Whoa.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't research it. It's a curiosity.
So it's just something that we worship then, for real.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say we should worship the gourd.
The gourd.
Gourd.
Worship the gourd! I will go see the core. I'm gonna go to the planet core. Let me just grab that buggy that I left behind. Someone said that the frame rates in this game were giving them a headache, so they had to stop watching and they're listening to it as an audio-only podcast. That's a shame.
Isn't that a little redundant?
Dollar Shave Club.
Oh, yeah, I found it, Mono. We're at the core.
You're there?
All right.
Oh fuck, here we go.
We're gonna see a 5 FPS core.
Just look, when you're going down the slide, don't go as fast as you can. Because if you do that, that's how you fly off and die. Just sort of try to keep yourself at an acceleration you can control, or a velocity.
This would be a good moment for me to dig up the episode 1 clip where Boss Nass says, "We gonna go."
Try not to go full speed down, otherwise you might die from fall damage. So intermittently slow down if you want to live.
Jamie, please. No, I don't.
Use my power, Jamie, please.
I don't want to dig up episode 1 at the moment, but trust me when I say if you slow Boss Nass down by 300 to 400% when he's talking about the planet core, it's transcendent. What?
Supposed to follow the tethers down this way, according to Dave.
Okay.
No, it's one big slide. Right? Yeah, oh, yeah, you want to go down. Right, okay,
yeah, I
see what
fucked
you
up.
guys...
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. This is a lot of digging. You used the drill for this?
Yeah, drill mod 1.
And
It's
you did
just...
all this by yourself. Wow.
It's... it took a little while.
Yeah. I thought you were digging in Mono's cave.
I got down to the part that we're at now. This is kind of like the halfway point, this Mushroom Kingdom. But now it gets harder from here because all the terrain requires the attachment to dig anyway.
The mushroom zone is really quite remarkable.
Hope she made
I would
lots
say
of
that.
spaghetti.
I'm a little biased. See, they're still in your head. It's all in your head, Luigi.
It'll haunt me for the rest of my
Mhm.
life.
Yep, deathbed type shit.
That's what I'm going to tell the children that I'm not going to have. I'll be like, my grandfather was in World War II. Well, I was on YouTube when YTPs were popular, and I memorized lines of a shitty Zelda knockoff. Okay,
Mono.
actually, it was official.
Mono, I just realized you should have brought some quartz down.
For beacons?
Maybe it's different for different people, but for me it was quartz that was. If you know
Quartz?
what I mean.
Quartz for what? You got cut off.
I can't tell you. It's a part of the
secret.
core.
Oh, right. I know. Actually, I know what you're saying. But
Okay.
you can find quartz down in that area.
Oh,
That's
okay.
how I did it on my planet.
Yo. This is the core?
It's a part of it. You
Wow.
should go touch it.
What do you mean?
And
I don't trust
get
you.
ready.
Just
Get
go
ready
get
to
real-
dig.
Get real close. You won't die, I promise.
Have my malachite just in case.
Okay. I mean, I'm right here to take your corpse, so it's no big deal.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Super Astroneer Galaxy. I love it. It's great.
This
But
is only
it's a
the
little
beginning.
glitchy.
It's
Start-
a little glitchy.
Follow the purple lines and keep digging while following them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm digging a hole next to this.
Well, I don't have a
since
drill
it's for
mod.
the oxygen.
I have one. I can help.
Let me see. What is the drill mod?
I brought carbon. Do you need it, Dave?
Oh, that's
Ceramic.
For the carbon's for the tier 2 generator. So I'm not.
Generator, yeah. And we might want to move the oxygenator over where Vinny is, because it's
Well, I
easy
can dig closer to
die.
you. Hang on.
Yeah, here I started a hole over here.
Yeah, you started one. Okay. So I'll just go down there. But I can't really dig effectively without a drill mod. Does anyone have
here, come
ceramic?
here. Come
You're almost through. You don't have that much further to go.
So then I'll just keep digging without the thing. Don't worry about it.
Here, Vinny.
Oh, I can't even... Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god!
Welcome.
This is it, Luigi.
There's no turning back now.
This is amazing. This was so much more worth it than I thought it would be. This sounds like the Zelda Water Temple now. Yo.
Yeah, jump and just see where you land and keep running.
Amazing. Then you walk up the walls. Wow. Whoa. Oh god. Okay. Oh. I thought I was on the... Wait, what?
What is up anymore?
I'm gonna throw down.
Do we need generator? I think we need
Well,
several generator.
We need quartz. That's what these icons are.
Running out of oxygen.
Here, take this. Turn that into oxygen filter.
I found some quartz.
These are used automatically, the oxygen filters?
Yeah, as soon as they're in your backpack, they fill everything up.
Cool.
Alright, then here.
Okay, so before we die, gonna have to find how to get back out to the mantle.
What do I do with this quartz?
You plug it into one of the triangles.
Mental. And
Just
then
need one more, right?
this one goes up here. Silva Awakened. Odd stone, huh?
The planet has awakened.
It's so Subnautica / No Man's Sky type weird mystical alien shit.
Hey, you got an oxygen filter for me?
And Abzu, yeah. Can't forget about Abzu. Oh, these are the teleporters that we've unlocked, right?
Yep.
Why is there one off-planet?
That is the secret one. That's the alien satellite. You could go land on it.
So what do we do with this item, then?
That thing you can't actually pick up. That just stays here.
That's just for fun? Okay.
It's a teleporter. The one that you've already lit up, you can go there right now.
Cool. And is there anything else to do down here, or should I just go straight there?
Is it letting you teleport to the satellite? I thought we had to land.
Goodbye.
there.
No, not the satellite. It's the one thing that he unlocked, which is near-ish to the base.
Okay.
Did you find out where we dug that hole?
Wow.
I'm just gonna try to go through the mantle.
I am
At least
renewed.
die in a more convenient spot.
I'm a new man.
New man.
Is that a Seinfeld reference, Mono?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't sound too committed to that one. Someone just said New Man's Sky. Well, the planet core had better frame rates. That was awesome. I really enjoy the effort that they put into that.
So, once we light up all of the beacons across the planet, then this becomes fully awakened or something like that. And then we do that on the other planets, and each planet has their own challenges that you have to face in order to get to that point, and you get to the core of those planets, and you bring stuff to the alien satellite, and I'm not really sure what happens after that.
In other words, it's a very long game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot more than I expected.
It's definitely a slow game. It's
It
one
says
that you
here-
just sort of like relax to.
Tell Mono you do not need to do that. You just need one node in the core per planet.
Really?
So then we
That's-
just did that.
Actually, yeah, that makes sense, considering what I know so far. In fact, okay, here's what I think you should do. You should make another rocket, solid fuel thruster, because the one that I had put over somewhere is like all used up. This one over here. This one we need to dispose of because you took a trip with it.
What type of fuel does it take?
Well, there it goes. No, it doesn't take fuel. It's
What?
one time use. That's solid. That's why it's solid fuel. If you ever played Kerbal.
I've played Kirby.
Basically the same game. Just a lot of vacuum-like action happening.
Oh God. Oh geez, the ball just went flying. Go retrieve it, please.
Why is it so? Why is it so fast?
It's mine.
Played interference there. So apparently, if you do that, you unlock a I like my bubble suit. Bubble suit is best suit. You unlock a color scheme if you go into the planet core.
You should have a new suit.
Vinny, there's a
also.
small bug where you have to go in and out in a multiplayer game, in and out of a multiplayer game to get your new suit. So I didn't even unlock it yet then.
Oh yeah, it should be called the Terran suit.
Okay, I'll use that next time. Do we, so we don't have any fuel for this rocket.
Right, just build a solid fuel thruster. I think we have the stuff for it.
Do we not have a thruster already? I thought we had one.
It was one I needed to throw away, because it already took a trip, and we actually want to get our rocket back, so...
Yeah, so it sounds like the first tier of thrusters are like one-shot uses.
Yes.
And then the late game ones, you have these like, what are they called? Like atmospheric something or others that just sit on planets and they absorb the gases and store them in capsules. And then you mix those gases together to make new types of fuel and stuff.
So it's aluminum and ammonium. Vinny, you should bring another quartz to the core to get another block for the satellite. You need to huh?
I'm doing that right now.
And what does that mean? Does that mean we then can go to the satellite?
It means you get to do something at the satellite, that's all.
Cool. I'll be right with you, chat. Just a second. Aluminum, a crucial fun. Aluminum. There's metal in my brain when I talk. Kind of freaks my balance out. Cling and the clang. Cling and the clang. It's the metal in my head as I walk. Vinny, are you alright? Yeah, I'm just reciting Gorillaz lyrics. I have so many of them committed to my memory. For no good reason. The cling and the clang.
Get a little Cicero there.
Whoever they got to do the voice acting bit of that one song, it's pretty great. The banana water is kicking in. Do you remember when it was lemon? When it was the lemon juice? I was like tripping out on lemons. I was lemonsing really hard. Now it's banana water.
Pretty soon you're gonna have like, you're gonna sleep with crystals on your like arms and legs, and you're gonna get like, reach a new form of enlightenment.
While keeping a banana
energy.
chip under my tongue to absorb its life force.
Back? No, chat, these are just regular crystals.
Speaking of, I will have one more banana chip. I'm ruining my intermittent fasting, but I don't care. It's just one. Alright, maybe two.
So my really tiny claim to fame regarding this game, I didn't intend to rhyme that, but it's that I was the first one to find a hidden Morse code message, believe it or not.
Huh.
That there was some wreckage that was in one of the first releases of the game, and I noticed there's just some really quiet static, and I realized that the breaks between the static turning on and off was Morse code, and I recorded the entire message, and I put it on YouTube and put it on like their official forums, and no one else had seen it, so I'm sure I'm the first one to find it. But the message, I have a video of it if people are interested. The message is actually very sad. It's like an astronaut saying like food is low, fuel is low, energy's low. When I land on this planet, it may be the last place I see, or something like that. And it was the first bit of story that we ever heard about the game. And then a few updates later, they've removed it. So I don't know
Oh
what
shit.
they're planning on doing with it. But I'm sure these are still in the game, but the early versions of this had replicas of real-world spacecraft, like they have the Voyager and Sputnik. This can be found. The Mir space station can be found. The Hubble telescope, and they're really accurate models too. Like you can just find them randomly hidden in planets. Funny thing is that Sputnik is just the Russian word for satellite. So they just called it satellite.
Satellite.
Yep.
Really educational stream tonight.
Yeah. You want to know about zits?
No, please.
Did that game get you sick, Dave? You said something like that.
Yeah, I really did.
You don't do gross out?
I mean, in little bits and pieces, I'm fine, but when it's
Did you ever
just
see
continuous-
Freddy got finger? Sorry.
No, that I was fine with that. That
Yeah,
was
but there's a
hilarious.
scene where he's like whipping a baby around from an umbilical cord, dude.
I think that's
Yeah,
a different
yeah.
level of gross.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's funny that with all the things in grossology, it's an interesting test to see, like, to test your own tolerances. Like, I was watching it with, like, a straight face most of the time. It's like, okay, yeah. And then you get to, like, a specific point, they're like, no, I'll just mute the stream for a little bit, come back, okay, we're good again. It's just, like, a weird test of what you can tolerate.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I was able to handle most of it, but there were a couple little things in there, like some noises and just the thought of, like, pus and mucus that really I just would prefer never to think about.
It's weird because it's like it all speaks to the most primal parts of humanity, like these basic bodily functions that we deal with every day, and somehow they, like, get us the most, or the most, like, you know, can gross us out the most.
Yeah, the spit one was gross, someone in chat said. It was, for those who missed the grossology stream, you did yourself a favor, to be honest.
But I
Highlight video
remember-
coming soon, though. Maybe.
I remember when that series came out, I never played the game, but I remember they had a book, and it came with fake vomit that you could, like, leave on the floor and be like, haha, it's vomit, but not really. And you could buy it at, like, Barnes & Noble, and it was just like, why?
Well, there was, like I said, there was a time with weird educational books for kids, and, like, I had this book about, like, jokes, I had one about space, and it was like, yeah, just a bunch of stuff that you'd get. It would come with something, and you would read through it. It was like a little activity book. Those are fun. I mean, that's one of the things that got me into space when I was a kid, having one of those weird activity books. But, the joke book wasn't exactly educational, but it was still in the same section. It was like educational book, joke book, book with fake vomit. Also, someone, emailed me and said, Vinny, I have the grossology book, do you want it? And I said, fucking no.
It's like you get the book in the mail, and it's just wet. Like, the box is wet. There's no explanation.
Yeah, I don't want that. I'm good. Can we all get into this rocket, by the way? Or no?
No.
Just one?
Can we build another?
I've been trying to get resin this whole time, and I cannot find any, so I can make more oxygen. Or oxygen tank. I don't see any resin.
Resin? The yellow stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I see
You can
ammonia.
just soil combine it.
Well, yeah, but I can't make a canister without resin to collect the soil.
Oh, there's, like, extra canisters next to the thing now.
I gave one to Vinny. I don't think we have extras anymore. I don't see it. Oh, wait. Here's one.
Mates.
Okay.
Mates. I think we need a large shuttle.
But we need to make aluminum alloy, which we can't do.
Fuck. That's on another planet.
Yeah.
So do we just go one at a time, then?
Well, let's just see if we can build another shuttle. Look at the large printer and see what it costs.
Well, the small shuttle is 2
aluminum.
That's not bad. We have aluminum.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll keep making,
Okay, so I'll go first. Let me bring some useful tools with me.
Here, bring, where did you go?
I have a resin. Do you need resin, Monner? Do you need... What else do you need? Do you need soil?
I just got soil. I'm gonna go make some resin, and then I can go from there.
Dave, why do I have this?
Because you're gonna need it when you get there.
Where am I going?
To the satellite. That's where we're all gonna go.
Yes. We must go now.
I see the unidentified satellite.
We must go.
Oh my god. Does it matter where I land?
No. There's like 4 landing pads so that 4
Okay.
players in multiplayer can land at once.
This is awesome. I love the planet that looks like a germ in the background. It's just like a crusty green planet.
It's interesting because when you land on a planet, you're landing on the crust.
Oh wow. So, you know, that's the appropriate use of the word, not the Vinesauce use of everything that is subpar or of insufficient quality is just crusty.
I've found myself extensively using the word crust in my everyday
It's
language,
so useful. Do you know who, around the time I started saying it, I realized that Dave Grohl was saying it about the band, about his band. Like, if they hadn't practiced for a while and they sucked, he in an interview was like, yeah, we're getting, like, you know, if we don't practice for a while, we get kind of crusty. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess just put it there.
Oh, do you have? Yeah, so that it just kind of acts like a hub for all things end game. So you'll keep returning back to here as you take the whatever the thing's called from different planets, and you bring it all here to like unlock something.
Now you can warp to the core of the other planet. Can I warp to the not core?
No. It's
core only?
Yeah, it
but then you can warp
core.
from the core to the other location.
Exactly.
Alright, well, lads, if you need to get here.
No.
Wow, that was 3 us at the same time.
I was gonna say, as long as you've seen it. I mean, I've seen it before and stuff. But if you want to do another planet, save resources for that. Or if you're gonna play another game or something, or whatever you'd like to do, Mr. Streamer.
Well, I might return to where I was or go to a new planet. What materials would be good to have? And you guys can maybe follow me and join me on our next planet, but...
I think just resin and compound, just because it becomes more and more scarce as you travel out to other planets to find like the fundamental resources. Because then we can right away make a centrifuge so that we don't have to look for all that. But you have to make the centrifuge where it's going to be placed because it's a gigantic box that takes up a lot of space. So it's best to make it at the planet it's going to exist on.
What it doesn't say, I mean, the materials like the Silva planet, you know, it doesn't really. It says that its primary is splapherite. Splapherite.
I think a wolframite is useful. Is that turns into tungsten, I think. And then tungsten we can use for some useful thing. I can't remember exactly which.
I kind of just assumed the natural progression was the difficulties. So I think after Sylph is the moon, whatever that's called. And then after the moon, you kind of go from there.
It's a solo, it's a Terran moon. There's no atmosphere, there's no gases. Wolframite and Splamperite is next. So I could just go there. I mean...
Yeah, I figure we can just, like, sort of make a base on each planet.
Okay. Well, this might not be... I might not want to stream this whole game, like, every single fucking planet, but
Right.
for now, we'll just go to the moon.
It's definitely different enough from Sylvia to be interesting.
But once you land on the moon, nobody is going to believe the footage of what they're watching here. Like, no matter how you try to convince chat, it's clearly a soundstage that you scripted in advance.
Alright, I'm stuck on the moon with no fuel. I'm stranded.
I think you have banana chips, though.
I have some food.
If you're stranded, are you going to write a song about that feeling?
Moner, please. I'm sorry, why am I calling you that?
Moan.
So, yeah, I'm on this planet. It's yellow. It's moon-like, and it's a little scummy. That's another word I've turned into some nonsense catch-all of, you know, just shitty things. But it works.
Also, don't touch the bulbous things with the red dots.
Okay.
If you haven't already.
Hey, speaking of red dots and red dot sites, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered is free on PSN at the moment. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. I actually liked that game a lot when it first came out. And, I downloaded it. And I booted it up. And immediately a 12-year-old was like, "Fuck you!" Alright. No problem. Get into the match. I remembered all the controls. Immediately, without having to think. And I enjoyed it. It was pretty alright. And I got a couple kill streaks and a couple kills, and I was really pleased.
But you got a couple kill streaks, or was it...
No, I did, yeah.
Interesting. I didn't think you were very good
I'm
at,
not.
you know... Okay.
I'm not!
Check it.
But I guess there was a lot of other newcomers or people who haven't played in a while. I was playing like with a lot of level 1s and 3s. And... yeah, I mean, it's Modern Warfare Remastered. There's not much more to it than that, but they did introduce loot boxes, so that's how they justify giving it away for free. I was like, cool, the game I remember enjoying of this series the most is here, and I can play it for free now, and it's remastered. It's gonna be just like I remember it. And it was, and then it was like, you earned a loot box! And I opened that shit up, and I was like, oh, right.
Well, you see, chat, I'm dismantling the conspiracy. They understand why I said that.
Why? B-dub?
Indeed.
Oh, I see what you were gonna do there.
Because we were told that Vita died. And there was a tragic... you know, there's an outpouring of support.
Well, you know, V-dub's gonna be at too many games this year, right?
Really?
That's what he told me. So he's gonna be there.
Is he just gonna be, like, dead on the floor? Or...
Ideally. That son of a bitch. He owes me money.
well, at least he won't get con flu that way.
Your Too Many Games video will just be beat up on the floor for 5 minutes straight.
Can't get sick if you're already dead, points at head.
That's a lyric, isn't it?
Could be.
Could be.
Could be.
Yes.
It will
Yes.
be.
Could be.
Vinny, are you going to PAX East this month? I am. I am not on any official schedules. I have not looked into such things, but I will be signing more or less at the Screenwave booth. I will be bringing some Another Light vinyl. I have like 20 of them that I'm going to be selling for a discounted price. Not too discounted though, because vinyl's expensive as fuck to make. Yeah, so I'll be there. If you see me, feel free to say hi. But, yeah, I'll be doing, like a signing at the Screenwave booth. I don't know the time or whatever, other than it's going to happen, like it does every year.
So with vinyls, in like the modern age of vinyl production, are you able to do any like
Cool stuff?
things with it? Yeah.
Yeah, you can do like weird holographic stuff, so that way when it's spin, it like creates like a holographic site. And you know, the color, you can do some weird stuff, like the new Another Light stuff is like swirled. There's like a swirliness to it. It looks like ice cream. So yeah, you can do some cool stuff. I'm sure there's more. You know what Monty Python did years ago? They made it so that the grooves on one side, they had a 3-sided vinyl, and so side 1 was always the same. Side 2 was one of 2 different things, because it was like different spirals and different starting points. So people were like, am I going crazy because I'm getting different stuff every time and I can't find the comedy bit that I like?
Do you need a special player to use a disc like that?
No, you just put the needle in a random location, and I mean, I'm not explaining it very well. If you want, chat, look it up. I think it was, I forget which record. Just type 3-sided record Monty Python. It was a jape. It was a total jape, and they both started the same exact way. So, to further jape. And
So it's like,
yeah.
It's like 2 spirals
In the opposite
with each
ways.
other.
Usually, I believe the spirals are the same, but in this case, they made 2 different spirals, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was generally considered by all to be a dick move. It was matching tie and hanky. Not opposite, they would intersect. It's 2 spirals on the same side. That's... yeah. Sure. I'm not explaining it well. Yeah.
Are you describing string theory or something? Sounds like some like high-level physics that you're describing.
Dear Lord, it could be. What should I build first, now that I'm alone on this planet? Stranded, out of time.
Was there an oxygenator on your rocket?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you don't need that.
Well, like a base would be nice of some kind.
If you don't have a printer of any kind, I would get a small printer so that you can make a medium printer, and then everything starts from there.
Okay.
So is there going to be a Redvox wax cylinder release anytime soon?
Like the one that dude broke on Tech TV?
I was gonna bring that up.
Exactly.
Oh, shit.
I feel so bad for that old guy.
Yeah.
What's pretty cool though is how modern technology is being used to like revive extremely old forms of like audio recording and photography and things like that. And I think it was pretty recently you can get like the first recorded sound that was done by one of famous inventors. I don't remember what the name was, but it's weird hearing the oldest recorded thing in existence. And I know there's one example is like Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Oh, yeah.
And there's also like regarding like video production, there's some like the oldest recorded footage of like Los Angeles or something like that, and you just see horses in the street, and it's really surreal.
There's one of New York too.
Video. Yeah.
Yeah, one of San Francisco as well.
I just gave up on the small printer.
Really, isn't it just one compound?
Oh yeah. No, I got it. I need to power it. I need organic material first.
Yeah, organic is a good way to get started with power. Oh, do you have like a wind generator or solar panel or anything on you?
Can I put that on the generator? I need a platform for that, right?
No, the small ones you can just set on the ground and then plug them in.
Okay, I found some
It's
cool...
a good
Yo, I found a
start.
bunch of cool shit. Wolframite, resin, just over here inside this thing.
Oh, nice.
I think I want to make a base right here, actually. Like, seems like a cool place to make a base.
I just saw someone in chat bring this up. You know, the famous viral video that I Feel Fantastic, which is like that horribly terrifying old like VHS footage of this mannequin that a guy put like robotics inside. It's like, oh, I feel that. You know, it was terrible. I mean, it recently got attention brought to it because someone made a like a Unity version of it, so it's like a game. But what's cool about that, and I think this is correct, but the things that the mannequin is saying are the first ever synthesized voices. Because I was watching this documentary about voice synthesis, and just it's unbelievable that, you know, we've had computerized voices since like the 70s, and it all had that same kind of tone to it. And there's famous lines like, is it Daisy? Like, Daisy, Daisy, da-da-da-da-da. It's like the first song ever sang by a computer. So that's often used as like a test of text-to-speech, is to sing Daisy. And then also that hey, 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 hey. It was like a test of certain like phonemes and language or something like that. So there's all these like really practical things that they did that have just ever since set the standard for synthesized voices. And it just happens to be that it's really creepy when it's spoken through like a mannequin with like dead eyes.
Yeah, it started with a meme.
Yeah.
Memes really do change the game. I mean, you meme enough, you're gonna make something happen.
When you meme, you dream.
That's right. I was gonna say too, the it's like, you know, Star Trek technology. Like, so many people become jazzstronauts because they've seen Star Trek and they want to you know, they want to do what they saw. They want to be engineers and stuff. It's kind of cool.
And that kind of reminds me of, I think one of the funniest, one of the funniest streams of yours I ever watched was when you did, it was like shitty Star Wars games versus shitty Star Trek games.
I don't even remember that.
And there was some like isometric TNG game where it was supposed to be like really like strategic, and you had to figure out, you know, like, okay, we got to use the resources sparingly. We got to send this, you know, lower level person like Enzing or something to the planet, blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, fuck it, and sent the entire main cast, like Picard and Worf and Data, all on like a suicidal mission. And they just ran in, their guns blazing, just like shooting everything. And you're like, seek out new life and civilization as you like murder alien after alien. It was like one of the best streams I ever watched.
I honestly, it's still a vague recollection at this point. I'm sorry to say.
There was some like side view platformer of, I can't remember his name, but the teleporter room guy with the yellow shirt that hates his life.
O'Brien. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Do you mind killing me today, sir? Please bring me down to the planet, sir.
There was like a side view platformer game with him in it, and it was really weird because his character took up half the screen, and you were like had this really detailed jumping animation, so you were sprinting back and forth doing like Prince of Persia level platforming with that guy, and it was, I don't know, I had to leave the room to recover from laughter so that I could breathe again, and then come back and continue watching the stream.
If this is on full sauce in any way, just someone please send it over to me, because I kind of want to see what it is now. Like, my memory of past streams is so terrible just because every fucking stream I do is like, you know, so dense, every frame, but I can't remember so much of it. It kind of pisses me off too, because people bring up stuff at conventions and they're like, Vinny, do you remember this one thing that was really cool? That was really funny that you did? And it's like just a year and a half ago, and I'm like, honestly, no.
It's that
I have no memory of this place.
I don't know if it applies, but it's sort of that parasocial thing where it's like, we all remember all the things that you've done.
Of course.
Like, I remember the first chat message of mine that you responded to on stream. Hope this isn't creepy,
Mono.
by the way. You were playing Dungeons of Dreadmore, or whatever that one where you move like tile to tile from a first-person view. Is that Dreadmore?
Was it
Grimrock? You
Grimrock?
played it again recently. Grimrock.
Grimrock.
Yeah. Wrong dungeon.
Okay.
And I asked, when you're at conventions, do people ever make you feel weird? And you said, nah, not really. Sometimes, but in general, people are really cool about it, or something.
Which is true, but I also, I'm not going to give you the right answer.
Right. But yeah, and then I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. He responded to my message. And then now I'm like on your stream. It's kind of weird.
Yep. Well, you're also, you know, you're a good dude. You got lucky, you son of a bitch. No, the truth is though, I mean, it's all kind of just luck, and I mean, I guess why did I eventually make you a mod? Do you remember?
I don't know. No,
did you do anything? Did you do anything like technical? Maybe you helped me out with some technical shit.
Okay, so my really quick Vinesauce origin story is Grand Theft Auto Online.
Oh yeah, there you go. Right.
I took you on a helicopter ride, and there was a ghost that was trying to show you, and we couldn't find it at the time. So I emailed you and said, hey, look, in this frame of your stream, the ghost was there the whole time. And you're like, oh, you should have you on the stream again sometime so we can check out all these weird Easter eggs. And apparently, and I still get messages from people to this day that say that they enjoyed me being on those GTA 5 streams so much that they like re-watch the streams to see it again. I'm like, wow, that's extremely flattering. I thought I was like stumbling over words and being dumb when I was there talking about all these like quack conspiracies about how like Mount Chiliad and this and that and the egg inside the mountain with the jetpack and the blah blah blah. But apparently people really liked it.
Well, and Rockstar watched that stream.
Really?
Yeah, that's how they eventually got in touch with me. You know, to get me over to the studio. Like, they saw that stream and then again, they also, you know, they were just like anyone who was streaming their games at that time, and that was in New York. Like, as they told me, there weren't a lot of streamers from New York that were streaming GTA. So, it wasn't like, you know, I was the best person for the job. It was more like, well, I'm here, and they liked the stream well enough. So,
that's
right. Yeah, they watched that.
Like,
yeah,
you're with like Swiftor, I think, and Future Man and Cream and all these like East Coast streamers.
Yep.
And I remember you didn't have a camera, and then like Swiftor offered you his camera. And
yeah,
like,
I got on there for a little bit. That was a weird day. They thought because I don't go on camera on my streams, they were like, he just doesn't want to be on camera at all. But I would have been fine with it.
Yeah, I wonder how much research they do into streamers, like before they ask them to come do something.
Well, I kind of ended up becoming friends with a couple people that work there. They're nice people, but they were busy. And they tried to make everyone happy. And in the case of me, it was just a small error. I think maybe I even said something that they misinterpreted too. It's possible.
Right. I thought it was really cool that they did, like, they had the artist behind GTA concept art and stuff do portraits of all of you. I thought it was really impressive.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that. And then they kept that going for a while too. But, yeah. I mean, I'm not really interested in their online stuff anymore. I like the online stuff that we did. I liked exploring and finding cool shit, but I don't really like the grind. I don't like buying, you know, yachts. I just died.
And it was GTA Online is kind of where the Douglas, my yacht, and etc. and all that came from, was the GTA stream.
Really, Mr. Dink? No,
Well,
I thought it was there was some yacht game I was playing or some boat game.
Yeah, before then, that's like where the yacht came from. But I remember shortly after that was spawned into existence that I was like, Vinny, you're gonna really like the update to GTA Online because you can buy yachts.
Oh,
and then,
okay.
like, half the stream was you doing Dink impressions. So I
Okay.
think that's kind of where it rose to fame.
Let's see. Man. Yeah, this is... I'm glad I have people like you around and other people from chat, because my memory fades very quickly. It's quite unfortunate, but, you know. It's also, you know, bad memory is also a defense mechanism against trauma, and I've done too many Sunday streams to be okay at this point.
I know, don't you want to do a Duke Nukem Forever stream to bring back some great memories?
No, Douglas!
Cover pain with pain.
Dave, what are you... Oh, is that trash? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Whatever this platform is, I've never seen it before.
I've never seen this platform. I love it. It's great. It cuts down on the work, and...
It's a little broken, but...
It's a little broken, but you can also place some stuff on it. We can make this our main base. I was gonna make it in the husk of that other thing, but this is much better.
So I think it's funny that just, you know, watching really big channels that have gigantic chats, how it becomes like this weird kind of game in a way about trying to anticipate what is going to be spammed in chat based on what word is said in what manner. It's like almost like I can see the brains of certain chat members running like, okay, so that kind of sounded like, you know, a Twitch emote. Yeah. And then I just kind of want to say, like, you know, most of chat, how does it feel that a script could be written that could imitate your exact behavior and nobody would know the difference?
Oh, Jesus. That's actually unsettling, because for me, the craziest part of... Not even crazy, really, but the part about Super Paper Mario that freaked me out the most was when Robo-Tippy was introduced at the end. What was the Tippatron?
Yeah,
and
something like that.
Yeah, it was like, you know, all Tippy's memories, don't worry about a thing. You don't even have to pretend like Tippy's gone, because it's now the same thing. And yeah, I feel like the chat, if you wrote the script... Yeah. I mean, let's do it.
Well, you know, Jim, you've been asleep for 8 years now, and this is just a new script we're working on, so, you know, it's going to get better.
Jim is very disappointed in you, that you would say such a terrible thing.
We anticipated that you were going to say that, and now that memory is going to be erased from your memory.
Good lord. Oh god. This is too much for me, man. It's too much. But, you know, neural networks, they learn. Eventually I won't have to do any of my own streaming. That was a conclusion we arrived at not too long ago. So
Yeah, if we can write an algorithm that generates huge amounts of money from literal babies on YouTube, we
literal
can
babies.
act babies in front of iPads, staring at, orange Spider-Man burying Joker in the desert of a Toys R Us or
That
something.
is still some of the most disturbing shit I've ever seen.
So maybe that technology, that like massively innovative, impressive technology can be put to use in the streaming world. Well, we'll have chats that are just, they're completely full and they're watching a algorithmic stream that follows all of the key points that are proven to be appealing to chats.
Well, how would Twitch go about banning something like that? Like, how would they
Maybe it wouldn't
recognize and
even
then
be
remove it?
Twitch.
I think the better question is, how do they go about profiting off of it?
Yeah, they'd be on board with this. They'd be like,
Buy a
we are
full chat room.
generating.
Oh God.
Well, people, there's actually people that believe that some of the bigger chats on Twitch, and I died, are bots.
I mean, it's the only way you can expect
Mine as well.
it.
This chat has been accused of being bots already, as if the bots were smart enough to form full, complete sentences and everything. But yeah, there are people that believe that we're already there, and they just can't understand. You know what it is? They'll go to a stream, and they'll be like, "This guy fucking sucks," and they just can't fathom how someone like that would have an audience. And so the conclusion, is bots. Which is kind of funny if you think about it, but it is a thing.
So I bet at some point in history, or in the future, I should say, that we would have not only an algorithm that generates the perfect streamer, but we'd have chat members perfectly emulated as bots. We have bot chat watching bot streamer, and it just goes in an infinite loop back and forth forever.
Robotainment.
Kind of like, I'm pretty sure there was a creepypasta about it, but all the old like Counter-Strike 1.6 servers that had bots in it, just for the
endlessly
until the
playing
end of time.
matches. Yeah,
bots against bots, just playing against each other with no humans. Like, what's going on in these servers?
I kind of love that though. I like that some of these games that we play will never be fully dead because the bots are like busy playing them for us. It's kind of poetic in a way too.
It is. It's like, are you lost, traveler?
Oh God.
I think every day the game loses one more player than it had the previous month, and eventually it gets down to nobody, yet the game remains.
I learned pretty quickly that wasn't a bot because the responses were too good. But I hold to this day that if you go back and watch my world stream, there's a couple moments when you enter an area and you see at the bottom an NPC with, whether they're in the skin of a human or whatever. At one point during the world stream, they would actually, not active worlds, mind you, just worlds. Oh fuck, I'm gonna die. Yeah, but they'll type like a sentence. There was one about like the crucifixion of Christ, and it was like really creepy, and I thought maybe it was something like that at first. So.
But I mean, it kind of reminds me, when people are like, oh, scripted, fake, blah, blah, blah. It reminds me of like when I go into the comment section of like of alleged ghost videos, and it's like, oh, look at this ghost I caught on my security camera, and the chat comments are like, fake. Like what? Compared to what? Like actual footage of a ghost?
You never know.
But I mean, yeah, I'm not fully doubting, but it's just like so quick to call things fake. But like, when have you seen real confirmed footage of a ghost that like the entire community agrees that this is real?
Confirmed? No, I don't think we've ever arrived at confirmed ghost footage. But if you watch Ghost Hunters, I mean, they're on TV, so they have to have, they have to have some credibility.
I know, because they're not, generating money out of it or anything. They're doing it completely out of their own passion for ghost hunting.
Here's the thing. There is one thing that bothers me, and I'm gonna look like a conspiracidal dumbass at the moment, but I don't care. I'm gonna do one thing. Alien abductions. There's some stories. So not all. There are some stories that I've come across over the years, reading about alien abduction stuff, where their home lives, their family lives have been ruined. They are in therapy. They're nervous wrecks. They are not writing a book. They are not making money. They cannot function properly in society or integrate back into society in a way that's, you know, good for them. They're famous for the wrong reasons. Either they're called, like, asshole quack dumbasses, or they just no one cares who they are and they're just in some book. I'm sure there's an angle I'm missing, or maybe there's some real, like, kind of trauma there that's not at all alien related. But when I read about stuff like that, and people are like, oh, they're just looking for attention. I mean, maybe some of them.
I just think that
it's just so easy to dismiss it as, you know, they're going to make money off of it. They're looking for attention. Maybe who the fuck wants that attention? I guess some people do. Right. I guess some people do. Now that I think about it,
but it just makes me think that, I mean, it just is more proof of, like, the power of the human brain that, like, when someone tells their alien abduction story, like, they could be 100% convinced that what they did was, or what they experienced was absolutely true, and they believe it completely. I mean, whether or not it is actually how they experienced it, you know, maybe not. But I think it's very possible people are being completely truthful about their abduction stories.
Sure.
But it's just like the brain is so powerful, and when you're in a moment of, like, an adrenaline rush, all these weird survival chemicals kick in. Like, just like there's a famous example of like crimes that happen out in plain sight, where just someone just straight up stabs someone, and then when the police go and question all the witnesses, like, nobody in the area saw anything weird. It's just like, and people can choose to forget things, or not choose, but I mean, like, their body will forcibly forget things, even though they want to remember.
Well, that's trauma.
Like,
we talked about that earlier. Yeah. But it's weird to me that, yeah, I mean, the human mind can create and invent and overwrite all these things, but in a lot of cases, people do believe what they saw, and they truly believe it. It's not just for some kind of cash grab. And it's like, yeah, they think they saw this horrible thing that is now hurting them. And so that's why it's easy to go summarily, like, I laugh at flat earth and space is fake and, you know, shit like that. It's easy to just, you know, go through all that stuff and say fake, 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 fake. But then you have to wonder, like, well, why are some of these things being brought up so much, and what could they possibly gain from it? And I see, you know, it's just a weird thing. So yeah, you can't just, for me, you can't just dismiss all of it as attention and money, and some of it is genuine, like, sickness. Or Reploids. Someone said, Vinny, it's not aliens, it's Reploids and mole men.
Gotta get your facts straight.
Yeah. It's a little different. I think we need, some more energy generation up here on this platform, by the way. Research item. Trying to build this platform up a little bit.
I think solar is really the only thing you can use up there, right? Is there?
Yeah, there's no sun. There's not really any light. Wind is fine. Wind seems to be okay.
Yeah, we get light. It's just hard to tell when we're getting it because there's no atmosphere.
Okay, so solar would work a little bit?
Yeah, it should.
Well, your what do you call it, like orbit or something of the moon should be so fast that if you get it in the right spot, you should get light like every couple minutes, I think. And one thing that, just regarding aliens and stuff, that I thought was particularly interesting was whatever that, like, Pentagon thing was that happened recently, where, like, some retired senator or something came out and confirmed that there was indeed an archive kept of things labeled as UFOs. And
Well,
they
yeah, I
gave, like,
mean, the
example
word
footage.
UFO is obviously a catch-all. That's, you know, of course there's UFOs. But I didn't hear about that as a senator came out.
Yeah, it was like that. It was I mean, the kind of point I'm trying to get to is just that what was interesting is that the government does keep track of these kinds of things, and just because they say UFOs doesn't mean aliens. It's just
Right.
some thing that we saw that was flying or floating or whatever, and that we don't know what it is, and that's it. And I think that's, you know, a really sobering kind of perspective towards alien life. Like, it gives us hope that, okay, well, someone who have, like, in the military, who have access to amazing powers to fly all over the place and, like, go into space and do all this crazy stuff, like some of the best technology in the world, at least those people are keeping tabs on things that they don't understand. Like, it kind of gives me hope that, okay, maybe someday we will actually have, you know, a confirmed life form from another galaxy or something come and speak to us. But who knows if they would tell anybody?
Yeah,
And-
well, I think if they're... Listen, again, there's a lot of discussion about this, and, you know, I've read a lot of these UFO books and stuff, and I don't know if at this point in my life, like, when I was 20, it would be like, yeah, they gotta tell us, man. The government needs to tell us, man. And now that I'm a little older, it's like, wait a minute. I don't think I would tell us. Like, I really don't know if people could handle this. So, I don't know. It's like, would you? If Roswell happened, and you had to call the shots, are you gonna be like, just, yeah, tell everyone that, by the way, they have the technology to wipe us out? I think the fear is more like, if there were aliens confirmed... if there were aliens... Sorry, I had to say it like that. If there were aliens confirmed, the fear is like, does then religion become invalidated? Do people continue to listen to their authority figures and the government? Does the power structures of the planet begin to collapse? Do we, you know, does life as we know it kind of change, and the people who are in charge and that status quo of life, does that change? Because then suddenly we know that we're not quite the only ones out there. So there's a lot of questions, and I think ultimately, if them aliens were revealed, the decision to not tell people, it kind of makes sense. I think I probably would understand the decision. Sadly.
Yeah, and I think it was like the same article I was talking about, the Pentagon thing I was just mentioning, that it was interesting to learn that in general in America, that if like a scientist came out and said, hey, I got something that I think is aliens, that they'll just be mocked and like their career is at stake, because people are like, why would you bring that? You know, it's like they're
Right.
so,
Well,
people are afraid of their careers to bring up
ridicule,
stuff like
that ridicule is still going on, and the movies and all the aliens from outer space, like, that still applies. And yeah, no, I mean, it's not something that you could talk about if it is something that you've discovered. Yeah, you do get mocked and ridiculed, and but that's peer pressure that applies to more than just aliens. There's a lot of different types of discoveries, like Egypt. There's certain things that are listen, I've limited knowledge about most things, but this in particular. But there are certain things that have been discovered archaeologically that would shit on and overwrite some history that's already been committed to textbook. And there are some archaeologists that would not want that to happen, so they just ignore it, and they don't let certain expeditions happen, and they just kind of mock the people that want to go into those topics. So it's not just a conspiracy of, like, you know, like every governmental agency is like stopping the world from knowing this information. There's also reputations at stake. There's also, you know, like, what if the knowledge is not checked properly, and then you put something out there that's bunk, and then suddenly you have to live with that, and then people have to hear about that. So there's a lot of factors. It's not just one catch-all government. It's not just government. There's more to it than that, I think. How do we get on this topic?
Space. I don't know, I think it's inevitable you talk about aliens when you're playing space game.
I suppose. I've died on this planet so many times. That's the problem. But I'm gonna probably move on from this game in just a moment. But I may need help getting my fucking corpse. Oh, there it is, I think.
Yeah, I tried doing that yow meat. Whenever I do it, my whole throat just fills up with phlegm. How do you do that?
Someone just said, does anyone want to talk about false flag events? They are real, they've happened, but this is still a light discussion. You know, my area of expertise on this stream is to talk about movies, video games, music. That's kind of how I want to keep it. You know, for the most part. I like that, as opposed to going into, like, full conspiracy chat. Hope you understand. But, you know, there's a lot out there, and I'm sure you can find, having a chat this big, there are enough people here for every school of thought, for better or for worse. And so, you know, eat pant. What can I say?
Talk about how, to get more on your area of interest, you could talk about how the world can be one together, cosmos without hatred.
Cosmos without hatred! Oh! Sorry, I just got stabbed by a fucking mushroom again.
It's the Moon Men.
Vinny, that was sarcasm to escalate the talk. Oh. I answered the question, it was sarcasm. Yeah, internet sarcasm, everybody. At its finest. I died 3 feet away from the fucking base.
A lot of people haven't graduated from emote school to know exactly what combination you need to add to your message to make sure that we understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and then if people get shit on him, or even, like, timed out, and they're like, bro, I was joking. You told the streamer to kill himself. There's no kappa on that sentiment there. Please understand. If you get timed out for 10 minutes, that'll be okay, bro. It's just a prank, bro. Someone just wrote "stay alive" with a kappa face. At least that was clever. I like that. So, you know, yeah, you gotta be careful with sarcasm on the internet, because we can't hear your voice, and we don't know these things.
Back in my day, even though I'm younger than you, that we didn't have emotes or emoji. We had a parenthesis, semicolon, maybe an O or a P, and that was the extent of emotional expression through the internet.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's because of lads like you and I that we now have emoji. We did this, we started this. And now people were like, hey, we can make these into graphics.
And it's interesting to see how it developed around different parts of the world, because I think just among like American and European like internet history is where a lot of like the colon right parenthesis stuff came from, but then like the emoji, it's like a Japanese thing, I'm pretty sure. Like they've had emoji technology far beyond our understanding for much longer than we did, and they came up with the term. And then now just in the last like 10 years has it migrated to us, and now phones have emoji. But I remember we had emotes, emoticons, all kinds of different words.
You know lots of things.
I'm a thing guy.
Yeah, you know things.
So there's fun guys, and then there's thing guys.
I think I'm the fun guy. Which is why our logo is a mushroom.
Yeah, I was gonna say it came full circle.
You sure you don't do drugs? No, you don't, by the way. You're pretty you're pretty straight edge and healthy, so good for you.
I know, I'm real fun at parties. That's the kind of personality I am.
You know what though? I'd rather have a conversation than have someone who's gonna just, like, do meat noises and duck noises. Oh, wait a minute, that's me. Fuck.
See, it's all part of the dynamic of a party. You need some of every personality to come together to, like, unite the social circle of human interaction.
In space, in peace forever. Cosmos without hatred.
Exactly.
And on that note, as I look into this planet, I think we can end this. This has been fun.
It has.
I'm gonna, yeah, go ahead.
As I said, we went through the core, and then we went to the moon.
Not
and the
bad.
moon was not made of ribs or cheese.
I don't know why a moon would be made of ribs, but you know what?
Harry Carey.
This was made of ribs. It was a good stream. I enjoyed spacing and astroneering with you guys. This is a cool game, and it's really chill, and I like being able to build a new base. It definitely, you know, the resource stuff, you gotta go far and wide, and you gotta get a lot of resources, but other than that, this is definitely a fun game for me to play. This makes for a good chill stream every now and then, so we'll probably continue to revisit it. And it's fucking beautiful when the frame rates aren't shit, so that's nice. I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'm gonna return with that indie game I played last week that I actually ended up enjoying. Good Night Night. I have a key for a game called Treasure Stack. It's like a Wario's Woods-esque treasure game. They sent it to me, and I thought it looked kind of cool, but that won't be tonight. So, anyway, we will be back, or rather, I will be back. Dave, Mono, thank you for joining.
No problem.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, take it easy, guys. Alright, everybody. Quick break, BRB, and then good night, night.